What's up, everybody? Jordan Stewart here from Vover. Thanks so much for tapping into the Vover Original Show. Just a reminder that if you want to drop your opinions about the episode or respond to the host and guests with your voice, go and download the Vover app wherever you get your apps. Vover, voice over everything. Enjoyed the show.
What is up, you guys? Welcome into the Vover Monday WNBA show. I'm your host, Justine Brown. And if you were watching the Olympics at all in the last, 20 days, you saw that the USA basketball brought home a whole lot of gold medalists, including who I'm joined by today, Stefanie Dolson, a member of the inaugural USA 3-on-3 team who came home with the hardware. Steph, thanks for joining me. How you doing?
Thanks. I am very good. Very happy to be here.
Yeah, where'd you get that necklace? That's a nice, is that real gold, pure gold?
I heard it's 6% gold of recycled materials, but I'll take it.
Well, first and foremost, congrats on that right there. You guys went to the Olympics and got the job done, and it was so much fun to watch.
Thanks. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I have to say, so 3-on-3 just got added to the Olympics. As we know, you guys were the inaugural team for the U.S., and you guys did the job. I personally, that was one of my favorite new additions to the Olympics. Like, I had so much fun watching you guys play. And I just I want to ask you, obviously you're a member of 5-on-5 basketball. You play for the Chicago Sky. Your entire career has been 5-on-5 basketball. But talk about the difference between playing 3-on-3 versus playing 5-on-5.
Yeah, it's a big difference. I've actually just started practicing 5-on-5 too, and I'm like, whoa, I almost forgot how to play. Because 3-on-3 is just like, it's just faster, but it's obviously less running. It's more just like, it's a different endurance that you have to have. You have to go 3 minutes straight because there's not a lot of stoppage play. The ball is different, so it's actually, you're shooting differently sometimes. And then there's no coach, which for me is the hardest because you're like thinking about shooting, you're thinking about defense, but then you're thinking about like, what play are we running? Should we take a timeout? What's the score? How many fouls? It's like there's so much happening, which makes it just that much more complicated, but it also makes it more fun.
And you were joined by Alicia Gray, Kelsey Plum, and Jackie Young. And I thought the interesting thing was you guys all 3-on-3. Obviously, every basketball team, everybody plays a different role, but you have to be a two-way player in this game because at any point you can be guarding anybody, but you all very much filled a different role. Like, it just looks different to put a 3-on-3 team together. Did you ever imagine that you would be going to the Olympics, going to Tokyo, not only just going, but also in basically a sport you've never played?
Yeah, no, absolutely not. It was like, it all happened for me. Everyone kept asking, like, how long have you been playing 3-on-3? And I was like, a year and a half, like, right. We just started playing this, I think all four of us right before COVID happened. Like, we did a couple tournaments, but never thought that we'd be this good or that we'd have to qualify and that we would qualify. So, no, if you had said to me a couple years ago that this would have happened, for sure would not have thought that was true. So it's crazy.
Where do you see the game going globally? I mean, it's picking up momentum everywhere. Obviously, now we see it in the Olympics. We see the big three here in the U.S. picking up major momentum. And then on top of it, like we've seen before, where like indoor players start focusing on just two-man sand and stuff like that. Do you see a world where people play 3-on-3 and just 3-on-3?
I think so, maybe. I think it all depends on what kind of player you are and what you enjoy in the game. But I do think that we got so much good feedback during the Olympics. I mean, everyone, the people that I knew that watched, but then there were so many people that I don't know, fans that started watching 3-on-3 that just had such a positive reaction to the game and how much they loved it and how fun it was. I do think that 5-on-5 can get a bit redundant sometimes. Like, some people just watch a quarter anyway. So to have a 10-minute game is maybe a little bit more exciting for people to watch. So I do think that it could pick up speed pretty globally for sure, and then in America too.
I played, in the 3-on-3 tournaments when we were like in middle school, and it was just like always fun days with your teammates. And one of the cool things is you can play multiple games in one day without completely draining yourself. Like, obviously you need some space because they're fast paced, but that's kind of a fun part of it too, is like you could see tournaments really pick up with this.
Yeah.
So your first Olympics, Tokyo, obviously a little different experience, no fans, no family, but tell me a little bit about it. What were your highlights?
I mean, just the people, everyone that worked there, that was in, in our arena that worked, also the people that worked at the hotel that we were at, they were just like the sweetest people. I mean, we'd come home from a game, it'd be like 10 or 11 p.m. and they'd all the workers that worked at the Hilton just stood there and was like, woo, it was like clapping for us. So it was really just the support from the locals, but then also being around all of USA basketball, the men and women, just being able to support each other. Like after we'd have a game, everyone would talk to each other. They'd have a game, we'd all congratulate them. So it was really just the camaraderie of USA basketball that to me felt really special, that we were all together in Tokyo. And then, all the locals were just incredible.
That's awesome. I mean, the nicest people in the world in Tokyo, Japan. And it was nice to see them have a lot of success this Olympics as well.
Yes.
Their women's team medaled for the first time ever, and that was really fun. With opening ceremonies and being around other athletes, other USA athletes, any starstruck moments?
Honestly, my biggest was actually Greg Popovich.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, because I love athletes too, but I've been around a lot of them a few times, but I've never met Greg Popovich, and I love just coaches, and I've always loved the Spurs growing up. So when I saw him, I was like, that's who I need a picture with. And then it happened like the last day after we won, finally, he like sparked up a conversation with me, and I was like, listen, I need a picture. And so that was really, really cool.
It was fun seeing him, a playful side of him. Like a lot of the guys were getting him on video and clowning him and stuff. And I think it's fun to see people get to see that side of him, the human side of him, because he is such a serious winner.
Yeah.
Well, it's time. You get no break. Back to the season. WNBA season is in full swing. Everybody who listens to this knows I rock with the Chicago Sky. So, but you guys were on a great run coming into the, yep. You were on a great run going to the Olympics. Obviously, you have no choice but to face this huge break, but do you think you guys will be able to keep the momentum going to make this playoff push?
Yeah, I think so. I think what is helping us the most is that I was the only one that was, me and Estu were the two that were gone. So it wasn't too many people. The girls were working really hard the whole break. We've been practicing extremely hard. So I think we just have built more chemistry and more momentum, hopefully. We do have a tough half season, but I think we'll be ready for it because we've been together for a while.
Yeah, you guys definitely have championship goals, obviously, this season.
Yeah.
You guys got all the pieces.
We sure do.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you giving me some time today and showing off that hardware that only so many people in the world get to ever experience. Congrats once again, and good luck to adding more hardware this season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep. Take care. This has been your Vover WNBA show. I'm your host, Justine Brown. This was my guest, Steph Dolson, and you can join in on the conversation over on the Vover app.